Alrighty, how we doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Wolf, and welcome back to a build progression series. This is for the Scourge Arrow Pathfinder. This is day 2. I'm off the back of a 16-hour stream, which was longer than yesterday, which is kind of odd how that works. But we've made it to endgame, and I'm having a fantastic time. I'm actually, having the best time I've had in a long time. Almost as good as I want to say around Delve League, but I mean that's a high standard in my book. So in regards to Atlas sort of stuff that we're messing around with, doing a bottom left corner strategy, I have access to yellows now. I've cleared up to tier 8 with the build so far. No issue whatsoever. I did an Atziri, I did actually multiple Atziris, and Atziri is stupid fucking hard now because she's been tuned up through the roof. You'll more than likely see a video on the channel at some point, maybe out already, which is the most intense Atziri kill you'll ever see in your life. And yeah, I recommend you watch that. That's this character taking on Atziri. It was intense. It was actually really nice because it felt like an actual boss rather than, okay, I go stomp boss to get Flask, which was, you know, what I normally used to do. Watchstones, all this sort of shit. I have some of them. I'm still figuring out how they really work and how the sort of shit actually works. So I'll update you on that as time goes on. It'll give me another day or two really for Atlas stuff. And we'll have another talk about it. So I have a tier 4 beach just to showcase for like speed. It's the fastest map that I have. I have like a tier 7 and I have a tier 9 and a couple other things. I'm using this for progression right now, so I'm not going to show them just yet. I mean, I can do it, right? But I want to use it in progression and days that I farm. So we're just going to throw in the fastest map that I've got. And the way it plays in this map is basically the exact same way it plays in other higher tier maps. So character is all around fantastic. Doesn't really have any issues. Most of the bossing is pretty okay. The bossing is a bit on the slower side, but I am still able to kill pretty much anything because it is a dot-based character. So as a result, it just takes time to kill certain bosses, but it all depends. Haven't had really any issue aside from dealing with Atziri because I figured she was going to be really easy, like she used to be, and she got tuned up through the fucking roof, and I don't have my weapon yet, so the weapon that I'm using right now is just sort of a slot filler. And I was going to switch up a little bit of my gear, then I was like, you know, I might as well just showcase the set that I have that works, and then I'll talk about all of the gear switches and stuff that I've got access to and can possibly do and all that sort of stuff. Only thing about this build that's sort of a problem is it kind of requires Asian Kid APM. So outside of that, you're pretty okay. Reason I say that is you get spiked pretty fucking hard. Especially with all the new like mechanics and all that sort of stuff with Conquerors of the Atlas and Metamorph and all this sort of shit. There's enemy types I don't know, there's attacks I don't know. Metamorphs have the ability to spawn shit underneath you don't see. They'll spawn like every mob under the planet. They'll resurrect things, they'll do attacks you have no idea what they do. And all this sort of stuff. And it'll just ramp up to you getting spiked real fucking hard. Because we're playing phase aggro, we can dodge projectiles pretty well, but melee attacks, it's kind of debatable. If we get hit by a big melee slam, we're basically fucking dead. I have Caswa and Steel Skin, and it has been doing pretty decently, but outside of that, don't have a whole lot for melee survivability other than staying the fuck back. So what you've been seeing has just been me using Scourge Arrow, which is more than good enough to trash clear. But the real surprise of the build comes inside of Plague Bearer. I don't know if I talked about this in the previous episode or not, but I'll show you how this thing shreds bosses. So this is Plague Bearer up. This thing will burn through bosses. It's like Vol RF basically. Shreds it, zero issue whatsoever. It stores a percentage of your dealt poison damage and allows you to like reuse it. So mine can store almost up to like 1,000,000 in damage, 700k, 800k, sorry. It can basically store about 1,000,000 damage, and you press whatever the keybind is, and then in like an RF style circle, it will dump all of that poison damage at a rapid pace, which is pretty fucking good across like 8 seconds or something like that. And if you're doing Delve, it allows you to get insane speed clears. It's really good. So what you do is you shoot your fully charged Scourge arrow. It goes and ricochets like it's tornado shot, and tornado shot wannabe. And then that poisons everything and actually stacks you back up to 1,000,000 immediately. Like literally, when you're in Delve, you can just snap and it'll auto refill. And then you just turn it on and you gun it straight to the point. Especially considering I'm now using all of these like speed flasks and shit, and we're pretty damn fast now. With Pathfinder to get, continual flask recharge and all that sort of stuff, we're actually doing really well. I don't know if I showed the slash blade, but the slash blade is a day and 4 hours now. I think it was 11 hours when I first showed that. So yeah, I've played a lot today, and I've made a shit ton of progress. So skill tree wise, I might as well just do this first. I haven't really done much. This is where I went down on the bottom. We got Viridian Jewel, we got Golem's Blood. The Jewel is Global Fizz, Attack and Cast, Ink, Damage with Poison. Trying to make a Abyss Jewel. I'll talk about that a little bit later in my journeys with the Abyss Jewel stuff. Took a 2-pointer for a Jewel here. And I think that was pretty much it. I might be able to cut this point, and I also took 1 point here for Mana Leech until I solved my mana situation. So that's my skill tree changes, nothing really huge. Itemization, bow is still the same. At least I'm pretty sure this is the same one. Might be different actually. So just to cover it, damage with poison, damage over time, craft. It's okay, it's kind of average. I'm still waiting to farm the fossil I need to make a actually good bow, and then I'm going to fully invest into it and try and hard craft something. I do have something that's like as a backup piece that I'm going to be putting on soon. It's about net neutral with what I'm using currently. Where the fuck did I put it? Is that it? It's basically fucking neutral, but it has faster attack speed, which if it hits a certain cutoff, it'll knock me down a 0.1 on the attack time, which is actually huge in regards to how fast the thing like channels. So I'll be experimenting with that tomorrow. Main reason is it lets me switch up my link setup to get a 5 link right now. I'll cover that in about 2 seconds. In the bow, we have Scourge Arrow, Added Chaos, Mirage, Deadly Ailments. We took out Lesser Poison, put in Added Chaos instead. In the helmet, we have changed the helmet to Dexterity, 93 Max Life, 43 Lightning Res, with a craft of increased rarity from slain rare or unique enemies. Now, this is like, why the fuck did you craft this? This is terrible. Metamorphs are counted as unique enemies, so you get 39% rarity off Metamorphs. So that's pretty useful. Use that trick in your own league or on your own character. However, it's going to be replaced very soon once I can amass the amount of Vol Orbs I need to get the correct coloring on this, which is 80 life, 22% across the board rarity, double resist, and +2 level of socketed minion gems. Why am I using this when I can just, craft something else? The +2 socketed minion gems is huge because it's where I put my Herald of Agony, which is level 19 right now. So I can have a 21/22 eventually, Herald of Agony for free, basically. Pretty fucking good. That might just be the helmet for the rest of the game. I was originally going to use a, what's it called? A bone helmet, but that just might be better. I think since it's corrupted, though, I can't enchant it, which does sort of suck, but I doubt I would ever get anything good anyways out of the enchantment department. But that'll be put on in episode 3 more than likely. Minion damage, Herald of Agony, damage from full life, added fire, optimized around the links, because getting this colorization on this base is a pain in the ass. Necklace, I don't know if it's the same as the last time, but it's pretty shitty. It's just chaos damage, res, attributes. Pretty god roll quiver. I have 96 max, tri-res with Leech's Life. I rolled this today. Pretty good. Basically the quiver I'm going to be using for a fucking long time, since it solves a lot of problems and it has really good life. This ring is pretty garbage, but it's a resist piece. Other ring is pretty garbage. It's a resist piece. Doesn't even have max life on it. Gloves was the same as before. Belt, I'm messing around with a Soul Thirst. I'm using either this or a leather belt that I have, which is right here, which is max life, fire, cold, chaos. This is just all res, so it's kind of better than this one. We lose a little bit of life. I'd say about 30, 40 life. So that's kind of But Soul Eater is okay. We don't really gain a lot from it. It's actually really useful in regards to like Scourge Arrow. So what it does is if you kill an enemy during a Flask effect, you get like charges or something like that. And for each little 1-tick charge, you get 5% increased attack speed, which is pretty big, especially considering, if I'm firing shot after shot after shot, it doesn't make a difference that I lose all the souls the next time I use a Flask or when my Flask wears off. Because of the way Scourge Arrow works, the first projectile goes out, then the Thorn Arrows go off, a bunch of shit dies. If I'm charging a second shot as the Thorn Arrows pop, I get all of that attack speed bonus. It's actually pretty useful. Recommended and or needed, not really, but useful, kind of. Boots, the exact same as previously. Chest piece is where the changes come in. I have a Tri-Res Life chest piece with a 3% movement speed implicit from Assassin's Garb. This is very useful. As I said beforehand, I'm going to be wanting to get a, the Fossil Craft for minus 15 mana to all skills. But that's going to be kind of hard to do because I dropped the Dendrobate, which I'll talk about in a moment. Also, this lightning thing is a new element. Crusaders, if you're curious. I got it from the bottom left of my atlas. Okay. What else have I done that's really of note? Skill gem setups, I'll cover the rest of it. Dash, cast when, Stone Golem, covered that. Cast when, Steel Skin, AoE, Plague Bearer. Then I have Malevolence, Blood Rage, a leveling Infused Channeling, and Multi-Totem with Wither and Spell Totem. I used a Spell Totem Wither to kill Adziri, and it worked pretty well. I'm going to be having that in the end game setup once I get there. I still have some optimization to go about doing. Okay, so in regards to gear and upcoming changes, Dendrobate, I dropped this today. I played for 16 hours today. A lot of shit happened. So I want to put this on. It's going to be a soft 5/6 link because of the socketed gems supported by level 10 poison. Basically, I can get a 7 link in this if I 6 link it, which is huge, obviously, because that's fantastic. But that does mean I lose out on the minus 15 craft on chest piece for mana. So I'll need to get the betrayal craft for rings, which means I have to do more betrayal, which, kind of sucks. But that's just whatever, that's how it goes. Also, I'm level 86, in case you were curious. Yeah, so I have that 4 linked for the colors that I want, because I have Scourge Arrow, Added Chaos, Mirage Archer, and then I'll put in the Infused Channeling that I'm leveling right here. And that allows me to switch out to this bow, and or switch to whatever bow I want. And then in that bow, I'll put the Dash, Cast When, Summon Stone Golem, and it lets me switch to Dendrobate for more damage, and a 5 link while farming for bonus damage. So that, all in all, is pretty fucking good. Alright, Necklace also allocates Diamond Skin, which is LE Res, 3% move speed, something like that. Flasks, I have a Bubbling, Staunching Life Flask. This is fantastic. Get yourself something like this, because you are going to get spiked pretty hard, pretty fucking often. We're rather on the squishy side, weirdly enough. But I'm working towards, rectifying that. I'm still not too sure how to do it, but we're getting there day by day as things go. But you do need the sort of, Asian reaction time to just mash the flask. This one is mashable. Since we're Pathfinder, we get flasks back pretty fast. The most well-earned Ziri's Promise of my fucking life. Trust me, if it's up by now, watch the fight. It's a clencher. And when I drop this, it is the most well-earned fucking prize of my collection right now. This is a fantastic item that is giving me a shit ton of damage boosts, as well as the Chaos Leech's life is a lot of extra survivability for basically free, considering how I'm doing pretty good chaos damage and poison damage. Extra bit of leech. Onslaught Flask with freeze. This is going to be switched out to probably a granite, but optimally a Witchfire Brew if I ever drop one, or a % damage flask. Mana Flask, I'm gonna roll it better. I don't know what I'm gonna get on it, but it's pretty shitty. There's a roll that one of my mods told me about that you can get that is, it will keep going over, or keep ticking, even though you're at maximum. So I spent 40 fucking alts trying to roll it, and I feel like I got trolled because I don't think it actually exists. So that'd be really nice in this build to just press it once and for 10 seconds it's just rolling, but yeah, I doubt that'll happen anytime soon. And then the God Roll Quicksilver, because I spent 40 alts rolling the fucking Mana Flask and hit Adrenaline 5 times in a row. It was like, okay, we'll give you something good. So I have an Alchemist's Quicksilver of Adrenaline, which is obviously the God Roll, combined with Pathfinder, which auto-regens Flasks, and we're at 20 quality. So, 350 is basically the same as a base Quicksilver, and just the Quicksilver on its own is enough to make you go Sonic fucking fast. Considering my next trial is going to be giving me Nature's Adrenaline for 15% move speed during any Flask effect, and increased Flask duration, and 5% Flask effect in general, we're going to be moving pretty damn quick with this combined with the Onslaught we got going on here. I'm 5 out of 6 trials right now, in case you were curious. Looking to get 6 out of 6 and do Izaro, of course. So that is most of what's been going on. Now to show you the stupid shit that's happened, because there has been quite a bit. Got more fossils, physical, serrated fossils. This is actually one of the high cost ones in trade, I think. I got 2 chaos fossils I'll be using to roll stuff with. Got a lightning item, which I found. I think these lightning items have a higher chance to roll towards attack speed, at least for weapons, because, you know, lightning, speed, that sort of shit. It sounds like an off-the-wall theory, but I rolled above, 15% attack speed 6 times in a row. So maybe it's just a little bit tailored. I don't know, just a little bit, right? Other than that, I got that, which is, pretty shit for me, right? But still. And I've gotten a bunch of melee gear, even though I'm not playing melee this league. I got a Stygian Vise, might roll that to work with something, and then in the Abyssal socket, I want to put a Onslaught on Kill Jewel to then replace my Onslaught Flask. So that will work hopefully fantastically for me. If I can get Onslaught on Kill and Phasing on Kill on the same Jewel, you can call me a fucking millionaire at that point, because that is the optimal goal piece. There's Sacrificial Guard from Itziri. Other than that, this tab's kind of a fucking disaster. But then we got a Tomb Fist in Solo Self-Found. This used to have attack speed on it. Doesn't anymore. What made me fucking annoyed is I've done at least 20 to 25 abysses. Didn't even get a Stygian Vise, which is the belt, right? Which I wanted. I wanted to get a belt in place of a leather belt, and then, you know, roll for a fucking Murderous High Jewel, right? Something like that. I think Searching is the one I'm going for. But I just couldn't. I kept doing abyss after abyss after abyss, and it never gave me a depths for 25 or so in a row. And I was like, this is fucking baffling to me. Normally I get it every 5. I have too many belts most times. And then I just never got one. And then I finally get one. And I'm like, oh shit, alright, we got a belt, sick. And it's a Lich. Not that that's a bad thing, right? But I was like, okay, well, I'll take what I can get, sure. But if it's a Tomb Fist, I can't use it, right? Because a Tomb Fist isn't gonna beat out my curse on hit, right? Even though this is rolled like absolute trash, it's still one of the most valuable pieces of my build, right? Even if it's rolled like absolute garbage. So, the Tomb Fists that I've got here, you don't know how bad I want to vol them, right? You don't know how fucking bad I want to vol them on the off chance that I land Despair, which will never fucking happen in a million years. But it's me, so maybe in 500,000 years. But, yeah. I just wanted to show them on the video before I go and vol them and probably brick them at stream request. And the other thing that dropped recently is the Covenant. This dropped literally today, about an hour or so ago. And this is really fucking stupid, because it's almost a solution to my mana problems. And if I could manage to 4 or 5 or 6 link this, it's a soft 7, right? Because I've added Chaos at level 15. Socketed gems have blood magic. So I put this on as a chess piece. This solves my mana problems. This gives me added chaos, and depending on the colorization I get, I can have a soft 7 optimized better than Dendrobate. Downside is it doesn't have any resist on it, so resist capping is going to be a bitch when I take my chest piece off. And it's increased max life rather than plus max, so we actually lose out on that. I do actually think this is the better option, at least until I get the ring craft. When I get the ring craft, I think it's probably better with the Dendrobate, right? Because the increased poison damage, well, you have at least 300 dexterity, socketed gems supported by lesser poison, increased poison duration if you have at least 150 intelligence. Now, I'm autistic, I'm 41 inch short, so we're going to be solving that problem in the next couple of days to get that poison duration, because dot duration, for some reason, is like insane in Path of Building, so who knows. So that's going to be something I'll be working towards. This has all elemental resist on it, which is great because I don't lose my res cap when I switch to this. I do lose all of the life, which is going to hurt a bit because I'll go under 4k again, which means I'll be the squishy fucking panda, but still, if I can get life there and better life there, maybe we can get somewhere. Yeah, I believe that's most of the changes. That was Flask's items, skill tree. Path of Building hasn't changed. All of the fucking stupid memery. Is there anything else? I'm working on crafting a thicket bow. I've gotten half my facebreaker gear. I have a deep one's hide and Meganords. What else? And then I dropped Tomb Fists and Die Bellow, so I have like literally half of my what is it? I have 3 pieces of my facebreaker set right now, and that gives me a good laugh because I'll probably never drop facebreakers, even though someone else in Solo Self-Found did, and they rolled 619. I was laughing at them for that one. But yeah, I got 2 Hrimnors, because what league would it be if I didn't drop one before tier 5? So yeah, also a second 5 link. So if you're playing in this league, if you're playing in Metamorph or Conquerors of the Atlas or anything like that, or Conquerors of the Atlas later on, and you're watching this for whatever the fuck reason, who knows. Now the Vol side areas are in maps. They are insane for 5 links. I've gotten 2 5 links within 2 days, right? So the rolls might not be great, but using a 5 link with, I don't know, potentially just life and some resist is more than good enough. Obviously you can get the result that I had in the previous league, which is a 6 link with life and a very high resist, which is stupid rare, but possible, right? So if you're doing T16s and you get a Vol side area, there's a chance maybe you just drop a raw 6 link. Now you have a 6 link, right? So do Vol side areas. Be careful when you do it Zeri, because she's fucking hard. Like, stupid fucking hard, especially with this character. But I managed it. It actually requires you to think, because she's been tuned up a lot, but it's actually a lot of fun. I'm having a blast with this league so far, and this character. It's pretty damn fantastic. No real issues, other than, you know, dying. That happens. But, yeah. Thank you guys very much for listening, and as always, I shall see you in the next one. Take care, lads.